Hi everybody, and today we're getting back to one of the most creative and funny Skibidi multiverses that I know. And the episode that I'm going to analyze today continues the plot arc with Titan Gman. And by the way, in my previous analysis of the 8th episode of Skibidi Saga, I said how Maxity somehow predicted the plot of Boom's original series, which was just crazy. And let me tell you that episode 9 was also pretty much insane, so let's talk about it. What made Titan Gman retreat and not finish his arch-rival off? What are the true intentions of Cassettemen, and why they aren't as good as they seem to be in the first place? And most importantly, how are Astro toilets connected to all of this? Because at the end of the video, I'm also going to talk about new secret scenes that Maxity posted 3 days ago. So get your tea and snacks ready, and prepare to watch this video to the end, because I'm going to reveal all the secrets of episode 9 to you. Let's go! But before we'll dive into the analysis of the 9th episode by Maxity's Skibidi Saga, let me remind you to subscribe to my channel because statistics tell me that only 28% of people who are watching my videos are subscribed to my channel, while more than 70% are staying unsubscribed. So be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons not to miss my new cool analyses. Okay, so if you're subscribed now, let's continue. So episode 9 starts right in the middle of the fight between Gman and Titan TV Man, who both have their own really solid reasons to hate each other with passion. So in this episode, we're about to see them fighting each other till some of them stops breathing. And spoiler alert, it almost comes to reality, but of course there was a twist with this as well. So after Titan TV Man tried to cut the Jimmy's head in 2 halves but didn't succeed somehow, G-Man tells him menacingly, "That won't work a second time," and answers with the furious punch. And his power is so crazy that even Titan TV Man gets stumbled and uses his teleportation abilities in order to escape Jimmy's next attack. So instead, he teleports right behind his back and tries to repeat his previous attempt and cut his body in 2. But G-Man's reaction is faster than lighting this time, so he literally tramples TV Man into the mud, so he has to teleport once again to escape such a humiliation. Instead, he tries to hit G-Man from the distance with his core energy beam. But unfortunately, it looked like G-Man fully anticipated it, so he answers with an even more powerful laser beam that seems to come out straight out of his mouth. So we see once again the collision of 2 bright energy beams. And we already saw something like this in Monster Up's Skibidi Zombie universe, where G-Man did the same thing with Titan Siren. And both of these scenes are an obvious reference to this iconic Harry Potter versus Voldemort fight. And unfortunately, Titan TV Man was not prepared for such a power move from Jimmy's side at all. So he blows this section of the fight honestly, while G-Man stays literally untouched. And he looks just as crazy as he looked when he fought Astro Detainer in the second part of episode 72 by Boom, where he also managed to completely overpower his opponent. Titan TV Man gets up on his feet with a huge struggle, and it's obvious that he sees no other opportunity for himself here than to teleport and flee from this unfair fight. But before that, he decided to pull a theatrical kid card first and shows G-Man this inappropriate gesture. But then, as he tries to teleport away, it turns out that the joke was on him all this time as he cannot teleport anymore. And why it happened, I'll tell you a little bit later, so keep watching this video not to miss anything important. And then we see how Titan TV Man was literally fighting for his own life now, but G-Man overpowered him nonetheless. And of course, it doesn't help that now Jimmy also got some ultimate power crap move, which can basically one-shot even the strongest creatures. So he starts building up the power for this attack again, while TV Man covers up his core so that he wouldn't get destroyed on the spot, but that doesn't help at all. So we can see a scene where Titan TV Man gets a hit that he probably didn't get in his whole life. And this shot looks really similar to the scene from The Last Airbender, when Aang got hit by Fire Lord Ozai. And it seems like this is the end for Titan TV Man, but suddenly Titan Cassetteman comes to the rescue with his iconic sound effect. And then Skibidi Saga turns into anime once again, which honestly made me chuckle a bit. But just before Titan Cassetteman and G-Man were about to stage another mind-blowing fight, Jimmy gets told, "Leave the fight, they've found us!" And that was enough for him to gear out and fly away immediately. And I know exactly who were those mysterious they. And if you want to get an answer to that, then watch the video to the end where I explained everything. And then we see the interaction between 2 coolest titans of Skibidi Saga. Titan TV Man finally gets his own device that allows him to speak in the proper way. And by the way, we also learn the reason for him not being able to teleport at the end of the fight with G-Man anymore. It turns out that the battle with Jimmy required from TV Man to teleport so often that he simply drained all of his telefluid, which was the fuel for his teleportation abilities, as I understand that. Okay, and then Titan TV Man engages in the conversation with Titan Cassetteman, so we learned some really important things. It turned out that Titan Cassetteman was created on the basis of Titan Cameraman's model, and that Cassetteman's agenda was actually much more tricky. Titan Cassetteman says that Skibidi virus is to blame for everything, and that's why his race wants to find out its origin so that some Skibidi toilets must be captured alive. But that didn't mean that Cassetteman didn't hate those Skibidi toilets that hurt the Alliance, as much as the Alliance's members themselves. Well, or maybe at least Titan Cassetteman didn't like them at all, so that Cassettemen are also able to destroy Skibidi toilets, posing the threat for the last forces that can cure Skibidi virus. But moreover, they hate those who were responsible for the creation and spreading of Skibidi virus in the first place. This guy's words don't sound that pacifistic at all now, do they? He promises Titan TV Man that Cassetteman's reinforcements will arrive soon and sets off to another battlefield. And this is how this episode ends. And now let's go to 3 secret scenes that Maxity posted for us in his Season 2 compilation video. Because trust me, these scenes contain something really crucial for the understanding of the whole series. And the first secret scene starts right before the events of the 5th episode, where we've been shown how exactly Plungerman got to the abandoned Skibidi toilet base when he basically argued with everyone in the Alliance's headquarters and decided to set off all alone. He looks at the entrance to a Skibidi bunker with 3 giant monuments of toilets around it, flips the plunger in his hands like a pro and says, "I'll finish the job for you, Titan Cameraman." And this scene tells us how strong the friendship between these 2 characters was, and how Plungerman still can't get over Titan Cameraman's passing. And then we're moving to the second secret scene, which starts at the very beginning of the first part of episode 6, when we saw the dark speakerman before his mind got twisted in all these war flashbacks from his past. The scene starts with the dispute between him and Speakerwoman, who blames him for not wanting to attend the meeting with Cassettemen. And the Dark Speakerman answers how he doesn't really like the agenda of Cassettemen and their weird desire to spare the Skibidi toilets that hurt the Alliance so badly. And to that, Speakerwoman thoughtfully answers that Cassettemen must have some groundbreaking reasons for having such an agenda. And then she adds in the cutest way possible, "Come on, siblings gotta stay with each other, right?" And this phrase simply melted my heart because it showed what pure of a soul my beloved Speakerwoman actually is. And it also proved that she must have no romantic feelings towards this guy, but she still likes him a lot, but more like a stubborn Sully brother. So the Dark Speakerman is officially not my competitor anymore. Well, at least in this multiverse. But as the Dark Speakerman is not really in the mood for any of the positive stuff, he simply rages out on my poor girl and blames her for being so positive, and she calls her thoughts weird. But fortunately, she's much wiser than this douche, so she simply apologizes for her behavior and asks him to come with her nevertheless. And despite this outburst, she doesn't start treating him any worse, and instead she keeps behaving as if nothing happened really. That's my girl! And then we're getting to the 3rd secret scene, which is the most important of all. So let me break it to you guys. And it starts right after the end of episode 9, and it shows a group of regular cameramen who seem to be really bored of sitting there and just monitoring the exterior events. But then thankfully for the cameraman who was buzzing about it the most, something actually happens, and man, this is not good at all. He looks to the side and sees something crazy outside the window, because it is the UFO toilet who's staring right into his soul menacingly. Of course, the cameraman freaks out and steps further into the camera helicopter, but unfortunately, it is not the safe space for anyone anymore, because when we get an exterior shot, we see how behind this camera helicopter, there's Astro Detainer as well, who destroys the whole thing within a literal second with the usage of his claw. And then something even more insane happens. We're getting a translation sign in the corner of the screen for a moment, and then we hear the whole conversation between these 2 Astro toilets in their own language. And the topic of their discussion is Gman, and how they want to capture him and bring him to Skibaleus, which is the native planet or base of Astro toilets, as I believe. Then Astro Detainer asks the UFO toilet what they should do with Titan TV Man, and to that the UFO toilet replies that they will have to deal with him later, and capturing G-Man is a much more important task, as he used to be their commander that betrayed them. And this scene mirrors the scene from episode 72 of Boom's original series, where Astro Detainer basically said the same words to G-Man himself. So now it's obvious to me that these Astro became the reason for G-Man to quit the fight with Titan Cassettemen so quickly, because he really didn't want to get discovered by them. But what was also curious about this secret scene is that we learned the name of the UFO toilet, which sounds like Delonos's. And I don't really know if this name has some special meaning or not, but I guess we'll learn more about this Astro toilet somewhere in the future of this series. And the last shot is him smiling eerily into the camera. And oh man, I think that Astro toilets are about to have their own plot arc in Skibidi Saga really soon. And if they'll be just as crazy as they are in Boom's original Skibidi toilets, then soon this multiverse will simply be embedded in chaos. And that was all for today. I was so incredibly thrilled by this episode, and I hope that you were too. And don't forget to write in the comments below what do you think will happen in the future episodes of this series. And be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel not to miss my new cool videos. And it was me, ISO Toilet. See ya!